So GQ, what do you want to talk about? I'm the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and here are 10 things I can't live without. My first essential, I would say, is the most essential, and it is a photo of my wife, my daughter, and myself. Not just a photo of family, which obviously that's why it's essential, but at a certain point in the past year, going into WrestleMania, my tour bus set on fire outside of Lincoln Financial Field, and I had a few minutes, more like a few seconds, and this was the first thing I grabbed. These are the whys in what I do. In the entertainment business and pro wrestling, the suspension of disbelief, however you look at it, competitive or performance, it's a shark-infested show business. I think maybe I used to be one of those sharks, and then I met this lady and had this beautiful little daughter, and that changed everything for me. So they're the ultimate why in what I do. It's as simple as it gets. It is an American flag baseball cap. USA Stars and Stripes baseball cap. If you go into a gas station, you can find it. If you go on Amazon, you can find it. I'm very lucky I get to be in sports entertainment and pro wrestling because it's not about politics. It's about, hey, this is one thing that we like. Regardless of where we sit on the spectrum, we like this together. Let's do this pro wrestling thing. But yeah, this hat goes everywhere with me because it's also my little, incognito hat to the airport. I've been told that my incognito outfit is actually so covert, it's overt, because I always wear this hat and then I'll wear a sleeveless hoodie with the hood pulled over it. Try to cover up the tattoo if I'm just trying to move through, but I can say that with wrestling having hit this new phase of popularity, it's not as easy as it used to be. It's by no means a problem. It's the greatest complaint to have, but it's not just one or two people anymore. It's become kind of a madhouse whenever I go anywhere. But yeah, it's also part of my little kayfabe, as we like to say in the wrestling business. This manifestation, this physical form of the title belt, this dates way, 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 way back, 50 plus years of history, when it was originally the WWF. This is even pre-WWF. This was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation's championship belt, the same one that Buddy Rogers had, the same one that superstar Billy Graham had, New York legend Bruno Sammartino had, and it is the same title that in the Garden in 1977, my dad put around his waist, went up on the buckle and held it up, only to have not won the title based on a technicality of someone going over the top rope. So he had it, and he let the people see that he had it and have that moment, but then it was taken away from him. That became it. 8 years old, I want to win this title, and while he was still alive, I wanted to hand it to him. The whole tagline of Finish the Story, it stems from this moment in New York in 1977, and I feel like at WrestleMania 39, last year's WrestleMania, everybody thought, oh, well, that's the most obvious thing ever. Cody's gonna win the WWE Championship and start that run, the first time ever a Rhodes with the WWE title. Didn't happen. The task then got even hairier in a sense that The Rock decided to show back up and decided, oh, I'm just gonna take the match that Cody was slotted for. And in the end, all of this chaos, something magical happened. We get to WrestleMania 40, we finish the story. I'd say one of the things I like about the title a lot is it's no longer a matter of, it's not a nameplate. Now it's all about your individual side plates. I also love that this title is specifically this generation's title. I am fond of the Winged Eagle, which is a title from the 1990s. Hulk Hogan wore it, Ultimate Warrior wore it, Ric Flair wore it, Bret Hart wore it, and I am actively trying to find a way to get that into the WWE world, but this is also the title that was around Roman Reigns' waist the night I beat him, and there's a part of that that makes me more linked to this look and this aesthetic for a WWE Championship than ever. Another essential item happens to be on me at all times. This is a Rolex Datejust Jubilee bracelet. Rolexes are all special in their own way, but this is my father's Rolex. I have a couple that I've purchased. I have an Omega that I really love as well, but this one is the most important in the collection. Around the time I graduated high school, knowing I didn't want to pursue anything in college, knowing all I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler, I got a little worried, a little gun shy that I wasn't big enough. I thought I'd be 6'6", well, it turned out I wasn't 6'6". So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the Howard Fine Acting Studio in LA. I'm gonna go to LA, and then if I get big as an actor, I can jump into wrestling. Absolute nonsense. He did everything you could possibly do right as a father. I remember leaving that morning to drive my Volkswagen Jetta from Roswell, Georgia, all the way to Studio City, California, and he had $10,000 in cash, and he had given me that to make my way out there and start and get a little place. He'd even set me up with a job. I'd find out later, after he passed, when going around the room with all the goods, you get this, you get this. Nobody got the Rolex. So I asked my mom, and she told me, yeah, I thought you knew. He pawned that to get the money for you to go to LA. 3 men, Bruce Pritchard, Triple H, and Nick Khan, they knew where to go. And this was something I received after receiving what was already the greatest night of my professional career in WrestleMania 40, right there in Gorilla for the world to see. And it's as essential gets. Right here, coming in, Suavecito. Suavecito Pomade, to be specific, and it's an outstanding hair product. My mom, the Cuban side of her family, I didn't realize I was gonna have the thickest hair imaginable amongst my friends, and that it would grow at a rate that is almost terrifying, especially now that all my friends are around me balding. Ha ha ha, I'm not. But this is the only stuff that they actually can do anything with this mess. It's gotta have product in it. The other element of it is I am not a natural blonde, so I am coloring this hair on a frequent basis, especially with the amount it grows. This helps me on all ends, not just the thick hair, but the color-treated hair. Suavecito. My lovely wife gave me a pair of Louis Vuitton cufflinks. These are not my Louis Vuitton cufflinks. These are the first cufflinks I ever got. They're bullets. It was at a time when I had left WWE, which was unheard of. You know, nobody quit WWE. They'd fire you or you'd stay for life. And I was a Nepo baby, a nepotism hire, dad and brother. I was gonna have this gig forever. I felt I needed to get out and actually make an attempt at it. And I went all over the world wrestling, independent promotions, different companies, refused to sign a contract. I'm bringing the same brand, the American Nightmare, the same walkout song, Kingdom's Plan. I'm bringing that everywhere I go. Along the way, I joined what's called the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they actually gave me the name, the American Nightmare. I own a lot of cufflinks. I have a lot of Star Wars cufflinks, because I think people know I'm a big, massive Star Wars fan. But the go-to ones are usually my Louis Vuitton, the little dots. I feel most comfortable in a suit. I have some of the cheapest suits. I have some of the most expensive suits. It's all about the fit. And especially with what I do, you're looking for a little splash of color. You're looking to be under the lights, under the camera. Oh, well, SmackDown's a blue lighting treatment. Raw's a red lighting treatment. You don't want to blend in. How do you separate yourself? So it's all about the fit. This is one of my most essential items. It is a rock. This one is special because my daughter made it at a little art studio, and she's only 3, so she's just now starting to actually put the finishing touches on things herself. But yeah, Liberty Runnels, you know, sometimes she'd leave a plushie behind in my bag or something like that, and I'd want to keep it because that's, you know, I have that connection to her, but I didn't have anything that I carried with me. My dad always had trinkets that we made him and gave him, and he put them in his suitcase. My sister had made this little plush mouse. His name was Coco Jiwo. So this stays in my travel bag. But yeah, this is a rock. Not to be confused with The Rock. This is just a rock. There it is. It's just a Nintendo Switch. I don't have enough time and commitment to jump into a modern, big-time console game like an Elden Ring. However, I can get on the SNES collection on my Switch and I can play Donkey Kong all day long. It is absolutely essential for me. Let's go top 5 overall on the game side of things. Number 5, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima works really great for me because it's a narrative game. History of Japan's included in there. Love that. That's gonna be my number 5. Number 4 is going to be the original Halo Combat Evolved. That was the first. And obviously I know we had FPSs before. We had GoldenEye. Gosh, it's the dangest, it's the best. But Halo had a streamlined element to it. I am a terrible marksman in Halo, but if you put me on the back of a Warthog, I can get that flag. 3 spot, Red Dead Redemption 2. I never even played the first Red Dead Redemption. I didn't even know what was going on, but Arthur's story. Plus I have this love for America and the history of America. And here you are going through this period post-Civil War. What's it like? So I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. Alrighty, we're down to the final 2. It's easy for me. Number 2 is the original Metal Gear Solid. To me, it's a game changer. And when the movie comes out and is a big blockbuster, massive hit, and everyone's like, oh, where's the source material? It's right here. Metal Gear Solid for the original PlayStation. It changed everything about modern games. Number 1, right to it, the main event, the champion of all games. It's The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It just is. And there'll be people who watch this and are like, oh, Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is like DLC, dog. It's great, but it's an extension of Ocarina of Time. Those are my top 5. Boom. Good old-fashioned pro wrestling boots, which apparently are out of style these days, but these are traditional. Well, I guess not so traditional, and what makes them not so traditional is I don't do a lace-up. I do a zip and a couple buttons. Always the top 2 buttons. I never button the bottom button. You gotta do this Seg 1 promo, 3-piece suit, ready to rock. You got a match in Seg 6, so you gotta get dressed. The last thing I got time to do is individually lace my wrestling boots. So these have been my go-to, and these are important, these are essential. Here's evidence that they're essential. Told you about that picture earlier of my family. The only other item that I got off the bus when my air conditioning unit set ablaze was my boots. Somebody was asking the other day, they were trying to define like a specific point when things really changed for me. One of those specific points is the first time I put on the robe that I have now, which people liken to the character Homelander from The Boys. I think that's more the 2 blonde people. The design for all of my gear, the design and the work itself comes from a woman named Sandra Gray, who has outfitted almost every wrestler ever in every company and has been doing it since the early 90s. GQ, thank you so much for having me, and please check out SummerSlam streaming on Peacock, where I will be defending one of my essential items.